Hi everybody, I hope you're well and I hope you're safe in these troubled times of COVID-19. My name is Claude Bertoni and thank you very much for visiting my YouTube page. Hi guys, I just want to have a bit of a chat to you today about social distancing and the impact that it's going to be having on pets going forward. So I'll be putting a few posts later on about separation related or dependency based behaviours in dogs, but what I want to cover today is the potential ramifications of spending a lot more time than you normally would with your pets, considering that most of us are going to be working from home. So your pets are going to be in a situation where they'll be spending probably more time than they usually will, and when social distancing effectively finishes and people can go back to work, dogs are going to be left in a situation where they're not going to have as much access to us as possible going forward, and that can be a potential problem going forward, because if your dog had mild separation or mild dependency issues beforehand, it may actually end up having a more pronounced behavioural response afterwards. So the important thing that you guys need to realise at the moment is try and still get your dogs to spend more time in a situation where they're spending time on their own on a day-to-day basis, so that they're starting to get conditioned that just because you're home, it doesn't mean that they have exclusive access to you. So what I do with my dog in this particular scenario is that my dog is quite comfortable being outside in the backyard, and what I try and do is to make the backyard the be all and end all of recreation, stimulation and fun, and then to make my indoor environment with my dog a little bit more problematic, where the dog has to do more work than the dog would potentially do outside. So by association, the dog would rather be outside. So in the context of a normal day, my dog might spend 2 or 3 hours outside and maybe 1 hour inside with me. And when I spend time outside with him, the time is actually quite fun and quite stimulating. And when I bring him indoors, he actually has to learn and problem solve. And then if I'm spending my time with him, the places that I want to spend and actually develop lots of enthusiasm with him is predominantly more outside than inside. So by virtue, my dog likes to be outside more than inside, because effectively when I go back to work, my dog will be left alone. So my dog needs to understand that being left alone is quite normal and quite natural. So depending on how you guys live with your dogs in the meantime, if when you go back to work your dog is predominantly going to be an outdoor dog, then make sure that you spend more time with your dog outside and actually get the dog comfortable being outside than inside. This is my dog, he's just come and dropped the ball wanting me to play with him, which is a good thing. But what we need to do is to make sure that in the context of day-to-day life during social distancing, we're allowing the dogs to still retain a little bit of independence on their own, because when we finally go back to work, guess what? They're not going to be able to adjust unless we actually shape them that way accordingly. So drop me a few comments, a few questions going forward, guys. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll be putting a lot of posts, like I said, on separation issues going forward, but this is predominantly one on social distancing, where I just want to let you know that we need to get the dogs as independent as we possibly can. Thanks, guys.